Ah, goddamn, fuck, are you kidding me? Another tournament. We're gonna do another goddamn tournament. We just did a fucking tournament, and we're gonna have another fucking tournament, and, sorry, getting ahead of myself. What the fuck happened? Right. The Champa arc, it's come to a close. Zeno appears, which, by the way, thank you to everyone who did not comment on the last video saying, you said Zuno instead of Zeno. You know, thank you for knowing how to, you know, read a comment as well as read an annotation and not be a shithead. Also, fuck everyone else who ignored that. Anyhow, what was I saying? Right. Zeno appears, and everyone's losing their shit, or like the Kaioshin are losing their shit, and Beers and Champa, they're losing their shit. And they're all bowing in front of him, and he's just like, yeah, I came to see your tournament. It was really interesting. But what would be really cool? We need to have like one of those tournaments, but with like all 12 universes. That would be the shit. And Goku's just like, hey, cool, that's awesome. And like shakes his hand and is being all stupid Goku because he's stupid Goku. Afterwards, Champa and his fighters leave. Bulma pulls out the Super Dragon Radar and is like, okay, like, I still don't see the last ball. Oh, wait, apparently all 7 balls are right here. And Whis takes his staff, taps on the planet, then cracks open, and oh my god, the last Dragon Ball was the unnamed planet the entire time. Who could have guessed? Everyone, that's who. So with all 7 Dragon Balls, they summon the dragon, you know, the Super Shenlong appears, and Beerus wishes for Universe 7 to have their Earth back and kind of have a culture similar to, you know, Universe 6's Earth. So Champa can have all the delicious food he wants, and then everyone goes home, episode over. This episode is pretty much just like a big epilogue wrap-up thing, you know, just kind of tying up all the loose ends from this episode, kind of establishing what's going to be happening in the future arc. So there isn't like a whole bunch of like deconstruct and get into about it, but I do definitely have some things to say. First off, let me get the positive stuff out of the way. Zeno. I fucking love Zeno. He is goddamn adorable. Like, I love his character design, I love his voice, everything about this character, he's cool. Like, I want like a little Zeno plush toy with a little pull string that says cutesy Japanese shit at me. Like, I want one of those, like, so bad. Like, Japan needs to get their shit together and make a Zeno plushie, because I need me a goddamn pull string talking Zeno plushie, like, yesterday. I also love the interaction that he had with Goku, where Goku's just like, you know, shakes his hand and like, you know, pretty much just picks him up off the ground, and he acts like it's just no big fucking deal. It's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, the ruler of every goddamn thing, the most powerful being in the Omniverse, and he's just whatever, because he's fucking Goku, he doesn't give a shit. That was a great scene, great little character moment for Goku, because he's, like I said, he's Goku. He's a fucking idiot, and it's not that adorable aspect to Goku. It was great. I also really dug Super Shenlong. I thought he looked fucking badass. I really liked his design. It's kind of like this weird combination between, like, the traditional Shenlong and, like, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but gold. And it's cool as hell. Really dug that. I love like the big summoning sequence for him. It looked really cool. You know, they really made all over the top and crazy, and I was totally down for that. It didn't drag on so much that it was boring, and yeah, they really gave it this huge like scale and majesty. I will say there was like one part where realistic shit where like, you know, the dragon keeps like scaling upwards, and you can clearly see that they're just kind of enlarging the image of the dragon. I was like, oh come on guys, this episode looks pretty fucking well done so far. You know, the animation isn't bad, doesn't look too cheap, and then you just do some really shitty-ass, cheap-looking scaling on the image of Super Shenlong. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That looks so bad. Everything else in it looked pretty friggin' good, though. But, like, just like, you have him, like flying through space, and it's just, like, they're just increasing his size, and from this side angle, and it looks so ghetto, so cheap. Like, I could do that shit in Sony Vegas. It looked pretty goddamn bad. But overall, I really did like his design. I kind of like, you know, the concept that they were going with his, you know, summoning. Thought that was really cool. I liked how they were, like, inside of him, and they were talking to, like, his nucleus, apparently. And then, like, yeah, because he's just that fucking massive that you wouldn't be able to talk to him otherwise. I like that concept because he pretty much takes up the whole fucking universe. And this is officially my favorite Shenlong design. Like, up until this point, it was the Black Star Dragon. I loved the Black Star Shenlong. I thought he was fucking cool as hell with the red and the gold, and, you know, I really like that design. I probably like this design a little bit more. Maybe I'll change my mind at some point, but right now I definitely like Super Shenlong's design is my new favorite. Before I jump into the negatives, let me just take care of some middle-of-the-road stuff I just wanted to bring up. There's apparently a lot of people who are saying, I guess, that like, oh, see, Beerus isn't a bad guy. Like, he went and wished back Earth for his Brother Champa, isn't that really cool of him? He's not a no, he's still a fucking piece of shit. Like he has no value for fucking life whatsoever. He allows Goku and the rest of the people on Earth, like the people that he knows there, to live because it's convenient for him. You know, he has a particular invested interest in Goku and seeing Goku get stronger, so Goku can, I guess, pose a challenge to him. But beyond that right there, like, Beerus is a piece of shit. Like, I mean, you can sit there and tell me, like, oh, well, it's in his nature. Like, he's not really a bad guy. It's just, you know, he's the god of destruction. It is in his nature to destroy. Well, shit, okay? It's in Frieza's nature to be a fucking malicious sociopath tyrant. It's like, oh, well, he cares about his brother. Well, shit, Frieza cared about his father. Fucking Piccolo Daimao cared about his children. Did that make them good? No! They're fucking monsters! And Beerus is no different. It's just like, you know, he's like, you know, not a direct threat to the Z Fighters, so they don't really give a shit. Or the Super Fighters. Is that what we're calling them now? The Super Fighters? Fuck it, they're Z Fighters. I keep seeing people bring up the whole, like, oh, Beerus, you know, that's just his job, you know, it's just, you know, like, he's not bad, that is just his job to destroy and to kill. He himself is not a bad person. Okay, let me try to use, like, a real-world parallel for you. You know, that Hans, he's a really great guy. Yeah, I know he kills all these Jews, but I mean, he's a Nazi. That's what Nazis do. You can't expect a Nazi to not kill Jews, alright? You know, he's a great guy. He's really cool to his brother. You know, he hasn't shot anyone in the face in like a week and a half. You really need to just get off his ass. You know, he's a Nazi. That's just what Nazis do. Quit being an asshole towards him. See how that doesn't work when you try to use like a real-world parallel there? And I'm not saying that Beerus is like a bad character. I'm saying he's a bad person. Like, I love Beerus as a character. As a person, he's a horrible piece of shit, and I really wish people would stop saying he's not a villain or he's not villainous. He is. He's a terrible person. Cat person. Whatever. Now, as for things that just straight up bothered me in this episode, first off, Hit really doesn't say anything in this episode. I'm not even sure if he does speak at all. I don't remember already. I already forgot. But, like, he has, like, no good lines of dialogue, like, no good closing conversation with Goku or anyone else. And I was really disappointed by that, because I was really hoping that they would kind of, you know, flesh out Hit's character. Because we never even find out, like, why he wanted that transportation cube so much. I forgot to bring this up in the last review, but one of the things I really liked about Hit's forfeit was, you know, it was all predicated on this thought that, like, oh, well, you know, Hit doesn't want the cube anymore, doesn't need the cube anymore, because he was probably going to use the cube to traverse the multiverse and try to find, like, someone who would give him, like, a real challenge, like a rival, to push him further, to finally, you know, give him, like, a good fight, something he's never had before, which that might actually be the reason, but they don't give us any kind of dialogue, they don't really get us more inside of Hit's character. Hit really doesn't have a character at this point, and that would have been a really good opportunity to flesh him out. Like, be like, oh yeah, like, I don't want the cube anymore because I found my rival. It's Goku. Who the hell needs a rival now? I have Goku. So yeah, the fact that they didn't expand on Hit anymore, maybe they'll do it in a future episode, but I really wish they would have done it now, like so close after the end of the tournament, to really just, you know, give Hit some extra dimensions to his character. That would have been appreciated, instead of him just being, I'm a silent, stoic badass. Yeah. And the big thing I had a fucking issue with in this goddamn episode was fucking Zeno setting up the fucking, you know, 12 Universe tournament, I guess. You know, I guess that's the next fucking thing we're getting, you know, because they're making it sound like, oh, it's gonna be, I guess it's gonna be the next thing. That's why, you know, Zeno showed up when he did, was to set up this big multiverse tournament. Because that's what we needed. Another goddamn tournament. I mean, I'm honestly, like, as a whole, like, I'm not, like, super keen on the tournament we just had. Yet, it's a cool, fun tournament. There were great parts to it. There's a lot of fun elements to it. It isn't a really satisfying arc. There wasn't substance to it. And I have, like, I have a whole video plan where I'm just going to sit down, unscripted, and just talk about my thoughts on this arc as a whole. But, yeah, like, the fact that, like, you know, this arc wasn't all that fantastic. I'm sure a lot of people are just going to keep riding this hype train. It's like, oh yeah, Super stopped being shit. This is amazing. This is the best thing ever. And it's like, no, it just stopped being terrible. It's serviceable. It's not amazing. It was just a tournament. There was like zero stakes. There was zero character development, really. Like, Goku does cool things, Vegeta did cool things, and there was a lot of shit that didn't just make fucking sense in this for the sake of artificially creating tension, which is one of the things I hate most when shows do, when they fucking artificially create a sense of tension within their narrative because they can't, or because they've written themselves into a corner. And like I said, I'm going to have a whole video about that. But now we're just going to get another fucking tournament. And what are going to be the stakes here? Nothing other than the fact that Zeno wants to have a tournament. So now it doesn't even have, like, the stakes of, you know, oh man, Earth could be swapped out to Universe 7, but not that anyone really gave a shit about that anyhow. It wouldn't even have mattered to them. I mean, yeah, I'm sure, like, we're probably gonna get, like, a whole mess of new characters from all these different universes, and that's gonna be super cool. I'm sure we'll get, like, some really cool, like, new abilities introduced. I mean, this arc had some really cool abilities and unique characters and designs, but also had horribly underdeveloped characters. Like, Kaba got some development, Hit got, like, little bits of, you know, personality, I guess. He didn't really get development as a character. He developed physically, and, you know, he was kind of intrigued by Goku, but that's, like, kind of like the standard shonen thing of, like, oh, you've pushed my limits. I want to train against you more and fight you more to push my limits even further. It's like generic shonen character 101. There's not a whole lot of depth there with Hit. Honestly, I couldn't give a flying fuck about this future tournament, especially if this tournament is the very next arc. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a couple of filler episodes. I know Arali's coming up. I'm really looking forward to seeing Arali. I love her. She's great. I'm looking forward to seeing, like, some good little fun slice of life episodes. Hopefully we'll get some of those, because we didn't get any, like, pre this arc. Like, we just kind of jumped straight into this arc, because it was like, quick, get the story moving. People are sick and tired of these movie rehashes. We need new shit now. So we're going to get, like, some filler episodes, some nice little slice of life, hopefully some slice of life episodes, because I really think that's where Super is at its strongest in terms of its writing, so I really want to see some of those. But honestly, after that, like, if after all these little filler episodes, if we go straight into another tournament arc, like, fuck, I do not give a shit. Like, I'm sure it'll be entertaining, I'm sure it'll be cool, I'm sure, like, I'll enjoy watching it, but I'm not gonna actually fucking care. I'm not gonna be invested to any large degree. God damn it, why couldn't, like, the fan speculation about, like, oh, the next arc's gonna be, like, Xenoverse themed, and we're gonna have, like, Time Patrol Trunks, and Mira, and Toa, and all that, I would've loved that. I would've loved that a hell of a lot more than another goddamn tournament arc. But whatever, I guess I'll just wait to see what happens next. I'm at least looking forward to the filler. So next time, Zeon, out.